Millimetre by millimetre, covered in cheese and olives, the longest pizza in the world rolled its way towards an entry into the Guinness Book of World Records. The culinary achievement was put on show recently. Measuring sticks at the ready, anxious organisers stood by as what they hoped would be the world's longest pizza slowly passed through a conveyor belt oven, all 100 metres of it. The Guinness record attempt was organised by a local pizza company and was judged by a lawyer and local official. This pizza chef was kept busy just with the job of piling on the tomato sauce. While another was at the start of the line preparing the pizza base itself. And there were plenty of onlookers to ensure that the pizza wasn't wasted after the record attempt was complete. This boy made sure he was the first to receive a sample. An anxious time was had by all as the pizza making drew to a close, and the time of reckoning had arrived. Once measured, it was realised that this monument to culinary prowess would indeed make it into the hallowed Book of Records, nestling up against its neighbour, the world's largest round pizza, which measured 37.4 metres in diameter and was made in South Africa. And what does it take to make a record-breaking pizza? 30 hours of work, 25 cooks, 150 kilos of dough, 50 litres of tomato sauce, 60 kilos of green olives and 80 kilos of mozzarella cheese. There was no word as to whether corresponding amounts of indigestion tablets were on hand.
A rare set of limited edition prints and drawings and sketches made by former Beatle John Lennon during the 1970s have gone on show at a small southwest London gallery in Britain. This rare exhibition includes drawings of intimate family scenes, amusing illustrations and the handwritten lyrics of some of his most famous songs. Soon after Lennon died in New York in the US in December 1980, his widow Yoko Ono decided to release a limited edition of some of his drawings. A previous collection caused controversy when it was shown in 1969. It was a wedding gift for Yoko and went on exhibition soon after their marriage, but was immediately closed down, raided by police for obscenity. There were no such problems today, and some of these prints can now command well over $7,000 each. Long before becoming a musical legend, Lennon had studied art in his native Liverpool, continuing to draw throughout his life. The sparseness of some line drawings has a distinct Japanese feel, perhaps in homage to Yoko's origins. The brisk trade in all things connected to the Beatles, from photos to song lyrics, as well as the undoubted skill of John Lennon the artist, gives enduring appeal to these witty and often touching sketches of his life and family.
They're called Tenjing and Baboo, and they're Bristol Zoo's latest addition to its red panda family. And aren't they a picture of innocence? They've finally gone on show at the Southwestern England Zoo, after spending their first 4 months of their lives hidden away in a nesting box with their mother. Despite staying in their box most of the time, visitors do manage to catch the occasional glimpse of the pair. Named after renowned Himalayan Sherpas, Tenjing and Baboo are both making good progress and have already grown to almost full size, a fact that makes them quite difficult to distinguish from their mother. Though not as rare as the more familiar giant pandas, red pandas are endangered in the wild, and their numbers have fallen by 40% in China over the last 50 years. Loss of natural habitat, poaching and attacks by domestic dogs have all taken their toll. They have rust-coloured fur on the body and face and boast long bushy tails with black and white rings around the tip. It makes them look more like raccoons than the giant panda, their closest relative. red pandas prefer living in altitudes of between 900 and 3,600 meters in temperate forests. They are shy, solitary animals and largely nocturnal. With exclusive territorial instincts, they only seek out other pandas during the mating season. The panda's natural range is in southern Asia and their staple food is bamboo, although berries, insects and the occasional bird egg add some variety to their diet. Right now though, bamboo is just fine, thank you very much. All fed and happy, it was time for Tenjing and Babu to take a well-earned nap.
Something that the red pandas don't have to worry about is back pain. Ever since humans have walked upright, the misery of back pain has been part of many people's lives, affecting millions around the world today. And with an aging population worldwide, the problem of aches and pains is becoming an increasing worry. Now a British company has launched a low-cost device that could end this affliction. Called the Micro-ACE, it uses microelectric current to speed up the healing process and can be used to treat a variety of painful conditions including tendinitis, arthritis and sports injuries. 42-year-old Moira Woods has suffered with back pain since she was 15 and has osteoarthritis. She's recently turned to Micro-ACE, which has benefited her enormously. Through pads applied to the skin, the Micro-ACE creates electric currents similar to those generated by the body itself. Around 16,000 British people are already using it, with good results. With an aging population demanding effective treatment for aches and pains, the company feels its machine has huge potential.
Singapore played host to the grand finale of the Elite Model Look 2003 international competition. The tiny island, which is far from a fashion capital in Asia, was brought to life as 65 models from over 50 countries came for the grand show. And after a long week of training, beautifying and a lot of catwalking, the elite models graced the stage for the final competition. Host Channel V VJ David Wu and rising Hollywood actress Ashley Scott joined EML 2002 winner Anna Mihalovic to announce second runner-up, 16-year-old Christelle Peterson from Denmark. Christelle scored a modeling contract worth $75,000 US. EML 2000 winner Linda Vitova announced first runner-up, 14-year-old Pernilla Lindner from Sweden.
Number 54, congratulations!
Pernilla will become part of a new generation of catwalk stars, winning a modeling contract worth $100,000.
Congratulations, our first runner-up for Elite Model Look 2003 International Finals.
Ivka Sturm, winner of the 1997 competition, scored the job of announcing this year's winner, Denisa Dvonkova of Slovakia. Denisa, like the other winners, will use the elite competition as a springboard to launch her career and had the best prize of all, a $150,000 modeling contract. She was rendered speechless after the announcement.
Congratulations, Denise!
Unlike other beauty pageants, the elite competition is geared towards finding a fresh face and personality, specifically for the modeling industry. It is known to be one of the most prestigious events on the calendar and has launched careers of top models such as Cindy Crawford and Giselle Budkin. Elite selected the 65 contestants from over 300,000 worldwide applications.
And while the models may have had to forego chocolate for a while, these people had no such worries. Chocolate lovers swamped Paris's 9th chocolate fair at the Carrousel de Louvre to sample treats, creamy truffles, steaming cups of hot chocolate and tantalizing chocolate bars. Chocolate was on display in all shapes, sizes and even colors. The fair also featured demonstrations by manufacturers and top pastry chefs and chocolate sculptors. Some 150 European and international chocolate producers took part, and it was a chocolate lover's delight. But the people also came to admire the new chocolate fall collection in a unique fashion show that combined chocolate and couture. Each year, the chocolate show pairs top fashion designers with chocolate masters and pastry chefs to create a collection that dazzles and titillates all senses. Fashion designers Cacharel, Carven, Corinne Cobson, Dominique Stirop, Fatima Lopez, Ferro, Isabelle Balou and many others, together with confectionery chefs, unveiled some mouth-watering creations. Edouard Vermeulen presented his dress in conjunction with chocolate maker Pierre Marcolini. Their aim was to combine designer fashion with a chocolate effect without making a dress from chocolate only. It was created to be wearable. From bustier to evening dresses, all aspects of fashion were covered with chocolate. Some designers used it as ornamentation, while others made it their primary fabric. This design was by Alexandre Berthet and Franck Dubos. Thierry Moulob chose Nina Ricci underwear and chocolate paint for this creative design. The chocolate fair also celebrated the 501st anniversary of the discovery of the cocoa bean by Christopher Columbus in 1502 and its subsequent introduction into Europe. In France, it was introduced by Anne of Austria in 1615, presented as a wedding gift upon her marriage to Louis XIII. Some chocolate makers even decided to emulate some famous sculptures and paintings from the Louvre. They almost look too good to eat. Well, maybe later. Some 150,000 visitors were expected to attend over the course of the fair.
Balance, strength, precision and grace. These children have got what it takes. They may seem as if they've just left the cradle, but athletes around the world beware. China is already churning out new talent for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. At the capital's renowned Sheshahahi Sports School, training starts at an early age. Only the most promising get the chance to attend the tightly scheduled classes that evoke memories of the once famous East German sports factories. Set up 45 years ago in response to low Chinese medal tallies in international competitions, the school can boast 15 world champions among its former students, and gymnastics is one of the key programs. With the nation's hopes pinned on these youngsters as the next generation of medal-grabbing gymnasts, the pressure is on. Ever since winning the bid to host the Olympic Games, China has set its sights on the year 2008 to show the sports world what it's made of. Chinese youngsters are already flooding the scene at international events after having gone through the tough training at state-run institutions like this one. Rigorous training centres around China have helped the nation secure a total of some 1,600 medals at the Olympics, World Championships and the World Cup since 1949. But the reality is all work and hardly any play for the 500 students who eat, sleep and study at the school, returning home only on the weekends. But it doesn't seem to daunt most. Table tennis is a specialty program at Sheshahahi, reflecting the sport's high status in China. Future champions are plucked from kindergarten by scouts and study at sports school until they're selected by provincial or national teams, usually in their teens. As the Chinese table tennis squad sweeps the competition at events around the world, the youngsters are eyeing that magic date, 2008. And they all agree on one thing, to bring credit to their country and achieve some good results at the Games. At the martial arts training session, it's all about speed, nifty kicks and formidable punches. Movie star Jet Li, known for his films such as Hero and Romeo Must Die, learned his fighting skills at this school and is a role model for many of the young warriors here. But the main goal is to bring the ancient art of wushu, literally meaning martial arts, to the international sports stage. China is currently lobbying to make wushu an Olympic discipline. Meanwhile, these children practice and practice, then practice some more. There are almost 5 years to go until the Beijing Games unfold, but these children are already looking the Olympic dream right in the eye.
Over in London, some of England's finest toy makers took part in a unique exhibition of handcrafted English toys. The Toys exhibition was expected to attract a large number of visitors, young and old, looking for that perfect seasonal gift. The collection took its inspiration from the glory days of the toy industry, when quality, value for money and a good imagination were the key ingredients. Featured in the saleable exhibition were automata, rocking horses, jack-in-the-boxes and puppets. And there wasn't a battery-operated, computer-based, mass-produced product in sight. The exhibition was being held by the British Toymakers Guild, which was founded by a group of toymakers concerned about the commercialization of the toy industry. The exhibition, they say, is a reminder of the alternatives to today's mass-produced toys. Toys was on at the gallery at London's Oxo Tower Wharf for almost a month.
Calling home may soon be just a click of the fingers away. If Japan's mobile phone giant NTT Docomo has its way, handsets will become a thing of the past. Welcome instead to the finger set. Multimedia Laboratories, the company's research center, has come up with a way of transmitting sound from phones into human bones via tiny vibrations from a device on the back of a wristband. It uses the biological phenomenon called bone conduction, the reason why people can still hear their own voice clearly even with their ears plugged. The prototype phone is called Finger Whisper and is set to replace mobile phones, which are considered to have become too small to be convenient. And there's no need to strain to either hear the conversation or speak into the phone. And while in some countries earplug microphones have caught on, in Japan it's seen as a bit of an embarrassment to be walking around seemingly talking to yourself. That's where Finger Whisper will come in handy, if you'll forgive the pun. NTT Docomo and Multimedia Labs are also looking into other forms of phones, including researching how to make a call without uttering a word. Mime speech recognition, which detects muscle signals and recognizes in the movement of the mouth different words, may help not only mute people to speak, but also make speech in a noisy environment easier to hear. For the moment, neither phone has a price tag, as both devices are still in the experimental stage.
The sights and sounds of Palestine were on display at the recent World Travel Market in London. The Holy Land has many historic sites and is the birthplace of Jesus Christ. And although regional conflict has seen tourist numbers drop in past years, renewed hopes of peace have seen visitor numbers rise to 80,000 this year. Randa Bamier, Director General of the Palestine Ministry of Tourism, was keen to emphasize that despite fears, Palestine is safe for visitors. Tourism in the territories contributes $350 million to the national yearly revenue and provides up to 12,000 jobs. At the market, Palestinian authorities were looking for a 25% increase in visitors to the area. Businessmen are already investing millions of dollars to build new hotels and refurbish those already there. But the Palestinian delegation was looking for more foreign investment for the anticipated growth in tourism due to its unique position. Accounting for 9% of the gross domestic product, tourism is vital for the Palestinian economy.
In the obscure world of Guinness record setting, few attempts can be as strange or dangerous as the one attempted here by Victor Raviv, a black belt karate expert. He beat the existing record by lying on a bed of 20-centimeter steel nails and being nearly crushed by some 326 kilos of concrete that his assistants had piled on him. If that was not enough to spice up his weekend, Raviv had an assistant shatter the blocks with the blow of a sledgehammer, which further increased the pressure. The feat was supervised by a lawyer to make sure it conformed to the Guinness rules for record breaking. Raviv was clearly overjoyed at having surpassed the previous record set by a man in Thailand who could only support 235 kilos and had to be hospitalized with critical injuries after the attempt. And while none of the nails managed to puncture the skin, they certainly made a lasting impression on the world record seeker. Raviv subsequently shattered another record, that of having 17 concrete blocks weighing 6.5 kilos each placed on top of him, then smashed to pieces with a 7-kilo hammer. Let's see just how he did it. Raviv's hobbies include using a saber to slice potatoes placed on the heads of nervous assistants, and he always carries around just one simple piece of advice: don't do this at home. You can see why.
And finally, there's no bed of nails in this far gentler tale. Friends and relatives of a couple in New Zealand have discovered that it's never too late for love, even if you're almost 100 years old. 84-year-old Dinah Leach wed 99-year-old Jim Gorringe in the garden of Christchurch's St James Rest Home, where they live.
Friendship, trust and loyalty.
Friendship, trust and loyalty.
The wedding, attended by family and friends spanning several generations, was the second for Gorringe and the third for Leach. But there was one slight hitch during the ceremony. Jim had trouble slipping the wedding ring on Dinah's finger, so she set aside a bouquet to help him finish the task. And then, after some joyful laughter, it all became official.
Jim and Dinah, I now pronounce you to be husband and wife, partners in life. You may now seal those wonderful vows you made with a very good kiss.
Which they did, but it came with a warning from Dinah.
And friend.
The couple have been courting for the past 4 years and said compatibility is the cornerstone of their relationship, which means for Jim that his new wife won't mind the 3 times a week he heads down to the pub for a drink with his mates. Congratulations, Jim and Dinah.